Zero, one, yes and no. This is the language and code of something called our crocodile brain. So, if you haven't watched any of my videos, watch some of them. It covers a little bit of neuroanatomy or the brain. It's said in layman's terms so you can understand it and have some understanding of how your own self works. And understanding how your brain works and how it's wired and how it functions, you then have control over it. So it's just like if you had a Ferrari, you don't understand how it's wired and how the engine runs, and you try to get in there and mess around with it, you could have some problems. So, thanks to breakthroughs in neuroscience and a better understanding of neuroanatomy, it's allowed us to create breakthroughs in health and creating success in our lives and creating relationships we want. So, let's just talk about the crocodile brain again, rehash it a little bit. So the crocodile brain or the lizard brain or reptilian brain is the most primitive of all of our brains. Us and reptiles share the same brain. It's wired for basic survival. It's non-thinking. So when we were first born, we're breathing, we're digesting, our bowels are moving, our heart's functioning, and we can move around to some degree. None of that is thinking type processes. And this is the language of the crocodile brain. Non-thinking, just unconscious, taking care of ourselves. Now, as we get older and we start to interact with the world, the crocodile brain kind of moves through a 0-1 type thing. And I kind of go over this. It's like an on and off, or yes and no paradigm. And knowing that, it's going to help you understand what I do in the book Miracles in Minutes. Because Miracles in Minutes is based upon how the crocodile brain functions in asking questions to the doctor or of yourself of, yes, this is helping me, or no, it's not. It's not something you're going to think about to make happen. You don't think about how to walk, but I've seen that strategy used in rehabilitation and working with patients. There's nothing wrong with it as long as it's working for the patient. However, it requires a lot of energy. In the long run, it usually doesn't stick and it falls apart because walking is not something conscious, it's unconscious. So, what I was looking for in developing the book Miracles in Minutes and another book I'm getting ready to write about how to rehab someone is how does this brain work? How do we work with it? And how do we get back to that youthful movement? So it goes with understanding the crocodile brain. So it's either yes, you're getting better, or no, you're not. Now, here's the problem that we run into. In our crocodile brain, it's wired for survival, and there's a small gland up in there called the amygdala. And the amygdala is where all of our fear responses happen. So it creates a 3F response: flight, fight, or freeze. Now, from some of the studies in neuroscience and training Navy SEALs and the guys who make it through training, the guys who don't, they notice in the battlefield the worst mistakes happen when the soldiers experience panic or fear. Bad decisions happen and a lot of bad things happen and people get killed and nothing goes well. Now, that's in battle, but in life we kind of have a little bit of battle of, dealing with work, dealing with our children, dealing with stress, or if we're in pain. So when someone's in chronic pain, their amygdala is really firing off because it's a panic. When you're in pain, it feels like, wow, I can't do anything. I don't know if I can move. I'm very scared about this. And the more we focus on the pain, the more pain we're going to create. So we need to create, part of my book Miracles also covers a little bit of the limbic or our thinking, and I do this even in clinical practice. You go, why, Dr. Wood, are you talking about our psychology or how we think and taking care of us? I just want to come in and get this done, fix the pain. Well, because the studies from Navy SEALs who made it and didn't make it showed that the guys who could focus on a small, simple goal could make it through that valley of fear and that valley of pain and go to the other side, and then you're in a new place. So the Navy SEALs, it wasn't the most fit guys who made it. It's guys who understand how to better set goals and the most tough mentally. So it sounded like this. Instead of you could go, your big goal could be make it through, Navy SEAL training or just make it through life or create this kind of career. But then you want to break it down to step by steps. So what some of the guys said, the ones who made it, were they'd wake up in the morning, their goal was just to make it to lunch because guys are dropping out all around them. Like, you get running and you're tired and you're in the sand and they're shooting guns off and they're like, oh my God, they're stressing me out. So if they had a simple goal of making it to lunch instead of focusing on what was going on in the current circumstance or situation, I'm just going to keep focused on it. I just want to make it to lunch. It's a very simple goal, and they made it. Then it could be, oh, there's a run. Okay, they're not thinking about their big day of making it through the whole day. They're thinking about my goal is to just make it through this run. I'm just going to make it through. If you can visualize yourself doing that, that adds something else to it. The other thing you want to look at too, in any time you have pain, is also your self-dialogue. Because we speak to ourselves things like 300 to over 1,000 words per minute. So if you're going, I can't make it, I can't do it, da, 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 and you keep saying that, you are going to quit and you're not going to make it through this corridor of pain or trouble. Now, in my office, it's easy for me to lead it because I'm the leader in the room. I get the patient to focus on me and let them trust me to get them through that. And I try to talk them through that to make them feel like it's okay going through this corridor. But if you're going through it by yourself, you just have to say, I can do it. I can do this. I can make it. If you change how you're talking to yourself, your nervous system, your body's going to respond. Refocus on the goal, make it through. So this is how we get past that amygdala where it's trying to hijack, your life and keep you focused on your problem, keep you stuck in the pain and focusing on that. If we can bring the focus back up to a simple goal of, I just want to feel a little bit better. I just want to make it to lunch. I want to have my pain, whatever the goal is. Or I'm focusing on, playing with my grandchildren one day. If you keep your eye focused on that goal versus keep looking at your pain, which the amygdala is going to scream, 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 and it's going to talk a lot in your head, you have to let that, hear it, but let it go and bring your focus back to what you want to get. So this can help you a lot in using the book Miracles Minutes with your doctor or the patient. Thanks a lot and have a great day.